everyone, Alexa Dunn here, and today I'm coming at you with a review of American Panda by Gloria Chao. I am wearing my Boston Terrier shirt in honor of the occasion because American Panda is set in Boston. I lived in Boston for 8 years. Technically, the Terriers are my school mascot, Boston University, but a Boston Terrier is from Boston, so it can kind of work for American Panda, even though May attends MIT. American Panda has been on my radar since it was first announced. Typically, I don't read a ton of YA contemporary, but I love a good high concept pitch, and American Panda is definitely high concept. It's also character driven, which is another thing that I love in books, especially YA fiction. So American Panda follows May. May is Taiwanese American. She's 17. She skipped a grade in school, so she graduated a bit young, and so she is a 17-year-old MIT freshman. Her parents want her to become a doctor. This is a huge thing in the Taiwanese American immigrant community, and the book gives you all of this flavor and context and background, not only for May's upbringing and kind of cultural norms, but also Chao is amazing about contrasting other cultural norms. So we meet a variety of not just Taiwanese American, but other Asian American teens with different parents, with different backgrounds, ideas, and values. There are, of course, common threads between, these Taiwanese American characters and other Asian American characters in terms of cultural values, but it's really clear that May's parents in particular are strict in a way that many other people and characters' parents aren't. So it creates a significant conflict for May that if she doesn't, study to become a doctor, essentially kind of making her parents happy and bringing honor to her family, that things could go really, really badly. The problem is May is a bit of a germaphobe. It's a running theme throughout the book. May is grossed out by a lot of things. She's got a bit of a hand sanitizer addiction, and also May's true passion is with dancing. She did ballet for many, many years, but ballet, wasn't going to turn into a professional career, so she had to stop dancing at a certain point to focus on her studies and focus on being pre-med at MIT. But she arrives at MIT and ends up secretly teaching a dance class and rediscovering, this part of herself that brings her a lot of joy. So between the germophobia and the dancing, May has this constant struggle of, I'm at MIT, I'm following my dreams, ? I'm pre-med, I'm miserable. What if I'm not good at this? What if I'm not cut out to be a doctor? What's gonna happen with my parents? There's an additional layer here. There's two additional layers here to the story. One being, May also has a bit of a burgeoning romance with a Japanese American boy named Darren. Oh guys, Darren is like the best cinnamon roll, and I kind of love him. He's amazing. I can't even describe how amazing Darren is, but huge conflict with her parents. May doesn't even tell her parents that, she might be dating this boy because he is Japanese, and that is a huge no-no. She needs to marry a good Taiwanese American boy, and her parents already have some potential matches picked out for her, and it's all about, where they go to school and are they on the doctor track too. It's played for comedy a lot of the time, and that's an important note about the book. It's really funny. This is not a book that's heavy all the time, and it's not a book that portrays all of these conflicts that I'm describing as stereotypical. As I mentioned, Chao shows a variety of characters who are Taiwanese American and other, variations of Asian American. I mentioned Darren is Japanese American, so there are lots of contrasts of the wide variety of experiences that people can have, and that May, you'd probably say that May has a tiger mom, though I really don't particularly like that term, and I don't think Chao likes that term either, because May's mother is given amazing humanity in this book. She's one of my favorite characters in the book. May is shown as one example, not the rule. Now, the other major thing going on that really ups the ante is you find out, and I'm not going to go into heavy spoilers here, I'm going to give you kind of the light information, kind of what would be revealed in the first quarter of the book. This is a no spoiler review. You find out pretty early on that May has an older brother, but May hasn't seen her older brother in years. I want to say it's been like maybe 7 years. It's been a really long time, and that is because May's brother was disowned. He was cast out from the family for doing something that May's parents felt was dishonoring their culture and his relationship with them as his parents. And so May hasn't seen her brother in a really long time. And so all of these threads kind of weave together, that May is at MIT and she doesn't want to be a doctor, but she's terrified of even admitting that to herself most of the time, let alone her parents. She's got this burgeoning romance with Darren, the beautiful, beautiful cinnamon roll, but she's denying herself it as well because she's like, we can't be together. It could never be. My parents would be so upset. And also May reconnecting with her brother and kind of, exploring the family dynamics that happened when she was a lot younger, and of course seeing how they might impact her now that she's older and going against her parents a bit. So I adored American Panda. First of all, I flew through it in more or less a single sitting. I had a hair appointment and I had the ARC. So the reason I don't physically have the book is I got the book on an ARC tour and I had to pass it on, which made me really sad, but I am getting my copy on release day, which is the day that this video is going up. Tuesday, February 6th. Go out and buy American Panda. I loved it. Read it at the salon, flipping through pages. I actually had to stop like 30 pages before the end because my hair was done, and I had like a social thing that evening and I was like tapping my foot, and I finished it as soon as I got home because I had to know what happened. I was laughing the whole time. I was crying the whole time. I cried probably 3 or 4 times. They're just these really big emotional moments, particularly between May and her mom. This is definitely a mother-daughter story. And as I mentioned, May's mom is developed beautifully. She's this 3-dimensional, human being that May is getting to know at the same time that the reader is getting to know her as well. And there are some beautiful moments of conflict and connection. I was tearing up, and then in the next moment I would be laughing. So May herself is really, really funny. She's got some great one-liners, but there's a whole other cast of characters who are also very funny. May's mom herself is unintentionally funny. In between a bunch of the chapters, there is an interlude where you get to see text messages and like voicemails that her mom leaves her, and her aunt as well, and they're just unintentionally hilariously funny. Like these messages they leave her like, why aren't you picking up the phone? I know your class just ended. Just kind of like this helicopter mom, helicopter family stuff that provides a nice tinge of humor when you contrast it to kind of what's going on in May's life. So 5 of 5 stars for American Panda. I think honestly everyone should read this. This book is for everyone. It's just a heartwarming, fun, swoony romance. There's good swoony romance with my cinnamon roll Darren, and I especially do have to wreck it. So it is for everyone, but also I would especially recommend this for Taiwanese American teenagers because Chao has created a Taiwanese American YA heroine who is easy to love and root for, and I think a lot of readers are going to see themselves on the page for the first time with this book, and that is so important and really, really awesome. American Panda is definitely one of those more rare YAs that is set in college, so if you are a YA reader who's been looking for a book with a character who definitely feels like a YA character and has a YA character arc, but it's set in the exciting world of college, American Panda is definitely a book for you. And as I mentioned, it is a very character-driven story. You become deeply invested in all of the characters, and Chao does an amazing job of drawing a very interesting and varied cast of characters, including a lot of characters who play against type. I really appreciated not only, of course, how she characterizes May's mom. The easy way to describe May's mom might be to call her a tiger mom, quotes, because again, not a huge fan of that term, but she gives May's mom such amazing dimension and humanity. By the same token, May has a roommate, and at first when you're introduced to her roommate, she's kind of a stereotypical, I'll kind of call her a party girl, but when you read the book, you'll know there's a pejorative you could use to describe May's roommate that I prefer not to do, and that's the thing. May's roommate is really, really well developed, and May goes from having preconceived notions of her roommate to really seeing her as a fuller human being. And Chao does that with every single character in the book. Every character has dimension, and it's the plot is driven forward by the characters and their interactions, their feelings and their discoveries, and that is just the kind of story that I love. Now I'm gonna link you down below to some buy links for American Panda so you can pick it up or go out to your local indie bookstore and buy it. I will also link you to my Goodreads review if you want to read some of my in-depth, like written down thoughts on American Panda, though of course a lot of it is in this review as well. But there is kind of a difference between me, like, you know, being enthusiastic at the camera and what goes on my Goodreads review. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more book reviews on my channel. I do plan on reviewing several other 2018 debuts. American Panda is just the first arc that I got my hands on, and what a one to start on, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I post videos 2 to 3 times a week all about YA literature, the industry, writing craft, and all things books. So thank you so much for watching, and as always everyone, happy writing and reading.